like a
Well,
vampire.
hello,
Presumably
ladies, gentlemen,
Dracula.
and everyone in between. We got some
Oh,
stuff going on in the green room right now, which you can't hear yet, but it's all sorts of fun. Yay! Oh, here we are. I am indeed the Lavender Lady Diana Clary, and this is the open chat here on Tuesday evening. And we've just got some randomness going here. I hadn't the slightest idea what the hell it was going to be about, and a couple things actually did come up today, and that's a kind of a nice thing. They're just random things, but they work and everything. So why don't we bring on the one, the only, the brilliant, the beautiful Kate Farr, Bionic Dance. How are you, dear?
oh, I've definitely been worse.
Okay. And we
How
all.
about you?
Oh, little bit this, little bit that. Good for me, good for you. What am I talking about? I have no idea. And
Mm,
then we have Mom Nato with us. Hello, Mom Nato, down from the deep, dark reaches of Florida.
Hello, darlings. How is everybody today? With my little fake British accent for a few minutes.
I don't know.
sounds
Damn it.
British.
Were you
Oh,
trying to
oh,
do a
sounds like
Tallulah
I'm from
Bankhead or?
Minnesota.
Not really.
Mm,
But damn it, vampires should not fucking sparkle.
yeah, it's true. But as I was saying, there was a comic strip going around where it's like dude's getting confronted by a vampire, presumably
Uh-huh.
Dracula, and he's like,
Well,
"Well, if vampires are killed by sunlight and the light from the moon is just reflected sunlight, then surely this should kill you." And the vampire does the fourth wall break and then curdles to dust. But I was thinking there's got to be a reason why moonlight doesn't kill vampires. Does sunlight have to be direct, or this, that, or the other thing? And then I realized that because vampires don't show up in mirrors, then the reason reflected sunlight doesn't
Mhm.
kill them is because reflections have no effect on vampires.
Right. And the moon is just reflecting the sunlight.
There
That's
you go.
actually a good idea.
Yeah.
And this thing about garlic killing vampires, they don't die because it's garlic. They die because your breath stinks so bad, damn it.
I'm sorry, but speaking from the contingent with Italian ancestry, I would say that the amount of garlic we all eat is simply in self-defense against vampires.
Oh yeah.
Well, have you
I
ever
could
heard of
stop
an?
eating garlic now, and there would still be enough in my bloodstream that I could
Yep.
not be killed by a vampire.
Oh gosh, yes, fresh
Indeed.
made garlic butter on garlic toast.
Oh man,
it's
don't
so
get me
fabulous.
started. I'm getting hungry already.
I'm gonna
Well,
have to
have-
go to the grocery store and
ha-
get some garlic cloves and olive oil.
Have either of you done the thing that the Frugal Gourmet called? What is it? 40 clove chicken.
never hide it.
No,
Okay.
never heard of it.
Where before you put the whole chicken into the oven to roast, you put 40 cloves of garlic or the equivalent into the chicken, like under the wings, under the in the chicken
In the
crotch,
skin, right?
under the skin, the whole bit like this,
Okay, that
and you
would
roast
be-
that whole thing together. And oh my
Right.
God, is it ever good? Number one,
That would be like 4 heads of garlic.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And the entire house smells of garlic in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
It is that sweet, just oh my! I'm getting orgasmic just thinking about it. And,
Oh, a
Yeah.
orgasm.
and
Well, there's definitely something very stimulating about garlic.
Mm-hmm.
and along with that, I mean, when you get through roasting the chicken, it's all infused with the good garlic stuff and everything else, and you can take the cloves out and squeeze them into cream and make a wonderful cream sauce out of the whole thing. Yeah, because you're roasting the garlic in the. I suppose there's a word for it, but paper will work. You know the
Right.
shell that's around the thing.
The skin.
Yeah.
Skin of the garlic.
So, I had a question. Now I've forgotten it.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
yeah. Is there some special technique to marinating that I might be marinating meat wrong?
I don't know.
How
What
so?
are you doing?
I have the sauce, I have the meat. I throw one into the other and leave it for 24 hours.
Okay.
Okay, what is
Yes.
not
Yes.
happening? What are you expecting?
She's not
Well,
sealing
okay,
it up in a bag.
no, it's hold on, let me get there.
Okay.
You know how I've been making the barbecue pork fried rice,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Mhm.
The
yes,
Chinese
yes.
style. I have the sauce, and I'll take the pork, and I will put it in a Ziploc bag
Okay.
with the sauce. And every now and then, like every couple of hours, I'll be like, "Oh, hey," and I'll get up and basically sort of like massage the sauce into the meat, or flip it over to make sure that the top and the
Mhm.
bottom are not uneven or whatever.
It sounds
You
so
know,
Right.
far. It
and I'll
sounds
let that
good.
go for 24 hours. The problem is that the sauce in the stuff you get from the restaurant has soaked far further into the meat than what
Mhm.
I end up getting.
Okay, here's a question. Are you poking holes in the meat?
No.
Poke
Should
holes
I?
in the
Oh,
meat.
maybe that'll help. Yeah, maybe that
Yeah,
will
because
indeed
what it
help.
Or
is
take a tenderizer to it, maybe.
That's another
no,
thing you
no,
could do,
no, you could, but
and you get your
what you do,
frustrations out. You know, wham, 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 wham.
like even just a fork and fork tenderize the meat. And what that does is it allows the juices to seep further in, and so
Okay,
that will
then.
work. I mean, it can't
Well,
hurt.
then I guess possibly I have been doing it wrong. I'll have to give it another try. But yeah, it's like, I mean, my skill at making fried rice that has like the barbecue sauce on it that I've been using is
Mm.
getting better.
Okay,
But
then.
because learning the technique to make sure that it doesn't burn but still caramelizes, that's difficult.
Mm.
But I figured it out. I just don't feel like the sauce is sinking in enough, so I'll have to try that.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh my
looking
god.
good.
I'm just saying.
What the hell was that? A
It was
seal?
a meat tenderizer.
But the
I
points are
know, I
backwards.
know, I
Oh,
know.
that's because you can remove it. It's got multiple sides to it. So you like
Okay.
remove the bit with the points and flip it
Mhm.
over, and
Mhm.
then you've got the points on the correct and proper side, and whatever was on the other side is now, yeah. So it's reversible, is what it is.
Okay.
Okay, Robert X always uses a chainsaw on his meat. It doesn't work for some reason. Maybe you should kill it before he tries to slice it up. Oh, for the
Oh
love of
my
Saint
god.
Gulick. Oh, my word. Yeah, it's who was it that earlier said? Oh, Mega Rome said score the meat. So yeah, you have meat six, cook nothing, right here, and
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure if you poke
yeah, okay. That's the idea of that meat tenderizer back there,
yeah. Yeah,
forking
if
around with your
you
meat, you know.
you fork the meat a bit.
I told you guys
God.
this was going to be randomness. Come on.
Okay, he's looking at the guy's noodle to fork the meat. Mhm. Anyway, but yeah, that should allow the sauce to seep in deeper than what you've currently got going on.
So,
Oh,
you know what I
jeez.
decided a while ago? If I ever have like a robot or a droid and I decide to give it a Star Wars style name, I'm going to name
Uh-huh.
it 4Q2.
Fork you too. Oh
Mm,
god.
yeah,
Oh my god. I want a strawberry neck so bad, damn it.
yeah.
Oh
Actually,
my.
what I really want is a shoulder alien.
Oh, okay.
You know, where it's like
Hmm.
you usually see it as a four-limbed little
A
thing.
sarlacc.
No, no, very much not a sarlacc. That's the one in the
Or
pit in the
that's the round
desert.
one. No, the little crumb eaty thing that was on Jabba.
Salacious crumb? No, not like that either. I mean, closer, but not that
Okay.
either. No, I was thinking, you ever see Nausicaa, Valley of the Winds?
Yes.
Like that. Or like Anna
Foxy.
Harrington's Sphinxian tree cat, that kind of thing.
Foxy.
Okay, now when you said shoulder alien, the first thing that came to my mind was the parrot that the ship captain had in the Doctor Who thing that Douglas Adams wrote.
Mm.
The
Douglas Adams wrote a Doctor Who thing.
several of them.
I was
Yes.
unaware.
They were
You
some
have
of
to
the
look it up.
best. Yeah,
Well, I
this
mean,
this particular
I've never been the world's biggest Whovian. I like it fine, but eh.
yeah this particular captain reeked of Captain Bligh.
Oh my.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole over the top, Mr.
Whoa.
Christian, that sort of thing.
Sounds kind of like, actually, to bring it back to Doctor Who, it sounds kind of like when Tom Baker was on Blackadder
Ah,
as a ship captain.
Oh, jeez, that one
will not.
that one I don't
Yeah.
remember
Captain
seeing.
Red-
Redbeard Rum was his
Grease.
name.
Woof.
The link. Okay.
What the hell was that sound?
That was a woof.
Which one?
I don't know. I heard something that sounded canine.
Yes, that was my shadow dog.
Okay.
That's the
Master.
shadow pet.
You
Come here,
know
buddy.
that dogs are like evil, right?
No, he's not. He's my
Dogs are
guard dog.
evil,
No.
terrifying creatures.
Only
Well,
to
do
you.
I remember correctly that a dog tried to tenderize you at one point?
Go.
No, I got to watch him tenderize two other
Oh,
toddlers.
that's it. That's it. Okay.
Yes. Foxy. The
There we
Foxy.
Yes. So
Oh,
when I say I
the
wish I had a
Abyssinian.
shoulder alien, I mean like that.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Abyssinian
Okay.
cat.
That's so hot like the parrot. Yeah. Okay. I'll have to look for
Yeah,
that
see-
someday.
Well, I mean that's the thing about Honor Harrington, the one on the right there. She is basically a female Horatio Hornblower in space.
Okay. Okay.
That is the whole premise of the series.
Now, my cat Smudge does the shoulder pet.
Meow.
He does the shoulder alien move.
Meow.
He will lay across my shoulders and just
And let
be
me
happy.
guess, he's about the size of a bus.
No, he's not the size of a bus. He's only about 7 pounds. He's a small kitty.
Shoulder alien.
Yes.
Shoulder alien.
Yes. A certain someone wants the you know what.
Of course,
Well,
someone has pointed out
get in
many
here.
times
Okay, I'll
that
give it.
the keepers from Babylon 5 are also shoulder aliens, the ones that ended up taking over Londo after the
Mhm.
shadows left. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of not what I meant by a shoulder alien, but okay. Anyway,
Okay.
I wish I
there.
had a shoulder
Oh my
alien.
god, child.
What's he
What the
doing?
hell did he sent me a mean picture. For optimal yield, plant your German shepherds in early to mid-May.
Okay.
And it's a
Okay.
picture of a German shepherd buried in dirt with a plant sitting on top of it.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that it's
I'll-
something I would try doing, but
No, here. I'm not even going to bother copying it. That's just weird.
yeah, if you bring him on here, I'll tongue lash him. Anyway. No, not
Yeah.
that way!
God,
So-
I did not say it. I did not say it.
and here I'm the one who talks about filters, right?
That's something that I cannot quite understand that I found kind of terrifying.
Yeah,
Go back to the screen and see that. Oh, that's
What the hell?
I don't know what the hell. But when I posted this on
Oh my
Facebook and
God.
said, like, well, you can just rock me to sleep tonight, someone said that there's actually a fetish for this, for people being eaten whole by other people with
gross.
giant mouths. Apparently, that's a fetish.
disgusting.
I suppose
Yeah.
that there could be a fetish over just about anything, but
Yes,
some
just
of them
about.
I will sit there and I will say, but why?
And I had a thought going on in my head before I came back to seeing that. Oh my god, that was just creepy.
Yeah, like there's some people who have a fetish for apparently.
Watch it. Watch it.
I know what I'm saying. I know what this is going to sound like. It's going to sound exactly as painful as it ended up being. Someone had apparently a fetish for having a shotgun pressed up to their crotch and having the girl pull the trigger.
Uh-huh.
Now, normally, this would have been unloaded, but the last time they ever did it, the shotgun was loaded.
Well, that's his own stupidity.
I've heard-
Thank God
I've heard
he
of
will
that.
Never have kids.
I've heard of that happening to a couple people. I've heard of it happening to a female type person, and yeah, to a male type person.
Sorry,
I
if
mean,
you're doing that, you don't need to have kids.
well, you're not going to.
Exactly. But you
It's
certainly don't need to have them if you're that stupid. That's like these people who make videos of putting firecrackers up the crack of their asses
oh
and
no,
lighting them off
really?
during.
I mean,
Oh
okay,
God, yes.
I
there
vaguely
is.
remember a guy, and he was Asian because I think this is an Asian thing to do it.
I
I'm not sure
don't
why,
know.
but he was wearing what sort of looked like a sumo diaper.
Yeah.
But it was full of fireworks,
Oh
and he
no.
lit them off,
God.
and they were like detonating, and he was doing this funky dance as they were blowing up around his crotchal area. But I mean, the thing is that the dance he was doing didn't look like a dance of pain. It looked more like, that dance that Pennywise is doing in It, that has become basically a meme unto itself, where he's like doing this with his arms and his legs are flailing all over the place. It looked like that, but is sumo style with fireworks.
Oh,
And I don't
God.
even remember where I saw that. I want to say it was like America's Funniest People or some shit, but I don't think it was. I don't
Funny.
know.
This
Crazy.
is
Funny, not in
weird.
the sense of ha, I can tell you that. And this is
Wow.
It
why
is a thing. It is a thing.
this is
that-
why I don't think I'll be in Japan anytime soon. I mean,
Okay.
the place is loaded with crazy people.
This is a kid who did something similar, and he ended up doing Michael Jackson. I guess his voice went, "Whoo!" after this.
Oh Lord. I don't know. It's the people do the very, very strange things. I have to ask why.
Yeah.
I mean, do none of them have any foresight? Do none of them think that, okay, if I shove M80s in my diaper, why am I wearing a diaper in the first place? It's going to be rather injurious, that sort of thing. For those of you who know what an M80 is, they can cause some damage.
They can cause amputations.
Yes.
Okay, there is a trope that I've actually only seen done twice. Once in a TV show, once in a movie, but it amuses the hell out of me, where basically a bunch of people are watching fireworks, and they know that one of the fireworks is something gigantic, something huge, possibly experimental, that like costs $1 gajillion, and it's the size of your own head, and they're just waiting for that one to detonate. And when it does, the camera like quickly fades to white, fades back out, but now it's the same people in the daytime looking up at it, and then it fades to black again, so they're all at nighttime again, and they're like, when does my vision come back? About 2 days. That
my.
like they did it once in Malcolm in the Middle, and once in the what the frick was the movie, Paul.
Now, there is a club, an organization, whatever you want to call it, out there for people who like to do the amateur thing of making the fireworks. I'd love to be able to join, to be able to fool around with that, but of course I don't have the money to spend on the non-necessities like that. But I do have this thing. I do like to blow shit up. And
That's what video games are for.
Yeah, it would be kind of fun to blow shit up in a pretty way, so you get all the colors going and everything else like that. But
actually, it wouldn't shock me to discover that there's a fireworks simulator out there.
You know
like
what?
As in make your own mixes,
Yeah.
and and I don't even want to say this because I know I'm gonna trigger tornado, but like Kerbal Space Program, but for fireworks.
There's this one set of people
Oh
who decided to put
here we go.
There's a fireworks
1,000
simulator on Steam.
Yes. 1,000 firecrackers inside a toilet in a house.
Why?
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 Because they could. I haven't even
but
looked at
I guess the real question though is what inspired that particular configuration of explosives and facilities?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because, and these are not small firecrackers. These look like M80s because they're the big round ones.
Well, I mean, given the
Oh
stupid,
my
stupid things people will do. I mean, like you heard about those two guys who decided, hey, I know, let's see if these bulletproof vests work, and shot each other to death. Like I don't know
Yeah.
if they said 1, 2, 3 and fired, but they managed to kill each other with their bulletproof vests on. So I mean, I don't know, because I doubt one of them like shot the other one, went, oh gosh, he's dead, let's see if my vest works. So they must have been like an at the count of 3 we shoot thing, I guess.
I don't know.
I mean, I have to wonder. The guy, I think it was the guy who invented Kevlar. He tried it out on himself, and I don't think I would want to do that. I mean, I'd want to find some other way to do the testing because there's always that case where it'll go wrong. Um,
Now, I mean, my question has always been like, does Kevlar sound to anyone else like a space hero or a fantasy warrior? Like, the mighty warlord Kevlar and his orc forces.
there you go. There you go.
In fact, I've been noticing anything that ends in R sounds like it belongs in sci-fi or fantasy. Usually the villain, but not necessarily.
Okay, then.
I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
Like Zoltar and all that stuff. Yeah, and a name in R
Oh
like that.
man.
Kevlar, Zoltar, all of that. It sounds like a bad guy.
Wasn't Zoltar the Hanna-Barbera character that Adult Swim picked up on?
I thought it was the like throw a quarter in the mouth of the genie dude in.
That could be as well. Yeah,
but that might have been Zoltar with an A instead of an O.
Yeah, because there was the one. I wish I could remember the Hanna Barbera thing, but you had Brack, and you had who was the Mantis?
Yeah. Oh, I should know this. Because it was Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Right.
Zorak.
Zorak.
That was it. Zorak.
Yeah, and then I thought that Zoltar was the guy with the boiler as a helmet.
I don't know about that part. All I know is that, Zoltar is the machine from Big.
Oh my! Now there's one I've actually seen.
Oh my god.
Now,
Yeah.
of course,
So that's Zoltar.
I found
Okay,
the photo.
then.
So there you go. Now we know who Zoltar is. I don't remember any characters other than Space Ghost and Brack, and Zorak. So
It's interesting the metamorphosis, if you will. Yeah, the Hanna-Barbera Brack and the Space Ghost Coast to Coast Brack, nowhere near the same. I mean, Brack regressed about 50 years, from a character about my age to 5 years old or some shit like that.
So I'm looking at the cast list. There was a guy named Lokar, maybe, and there's also one called Moltar. So maybe these are the ones.
Maybe it's Moltar that I'm thinking of. Yeah. Okay, then. It's been a long time since I've seen any of it.
Well, okay, so Lokar is sort of a bug. Let's see. What was the other one? Moltar. That's it. Moltar.
There it is. Moltar Space
like,
Ghost. Yep.
Okay.
There
Moltar
he is.
Sounds like someone who'd be more likely to be a bug or some creature that molts, is my thinking. But,
He's got the whole welding mask thing going on for a head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Yeah, hey guys, like I told you, randomness,
Yeah.
But did I mention this one already? Or I know we were talking about it in the green room. Can openers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for the love of St. Look, I'm trying to open a can of coffee. And you know how they have those peel off lids now? You know, the can manufacturers are making them for people my age or something that they think we're all arthritic or some bullshit like that. And you're supposed to peel this mylar thing off the top. The problem with that is that there's the rim around the top of the, and it's very difficult for me to dispense the entire contents of the can. So I try to use a can opener on it, and it never works. It always jams for some stupid reason. And if
Well, I mean, come on, it likes its music, it likes some improv, it's got a jam.
there you go. Yep, absolutely. You'll be over there, I know. And I want, if I can find one, to find one of those old lever action can openers. If any of you old folks out there know about them, you know, where you have the can and you have this thing, you jam the point in, and then you go waka 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 all around the top of the can, and there's sharp edges everywhere, and you know, but it opens the can.
Well,
Okay,
I
these
see,
people are
my
actually-
big problem with those is not so much because I don't think they make them just for people your age. I think it's just the whole safety thing. But when you try to pull that silvery thing off and it won't go, it won't go, it won't go, it won't go, bam, there it goes, and so does the contents of the jar.
Yes.
You know?
Uh-huh.
That's why I've taken to stabbing it with a knife, spinning the knife, and then using that to peel it up.
Okay, so they're gonna explode this toilet out somewhere not in a house. Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh my
But
god.
as long as we're talking, because we were talking about this in the green room before, and I don't think that Mom NATO is here for it yet. But I discovered today that these exist.
Twinkies, yes.
No, Twinkies cereal.
Cereal. Oh my god.
Yes, and
Yes.
Kate had nothing
What?
complimentary to say about them.
No, what I said was that they taste like frosting, like cake frosting in cereal form. They are not pleasant.
Oh, that
Um,
makes my teeth hurt. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it's definitely a deal breaker. The way that this, I mean, like because the actual little bits, the cereal bits, are decent. They're cereal, but the taste is unnatural for cereal. It doesn't. I might as well have a big bowl of Skittles and milk.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord. Oh, look what I found.
Hey, Mom, did you get to see that image I sent you?
Yes. Oh my god.
Let me see if I could go over here. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Over in the sides. Oh, for fuck's sake. The URL is too damn long for this thing. It's about 300 some odd characters. Why do they always do that?
I said the URL is too damn long.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Okay, let me look. Okay, let's see if we have. Oh, okay, we might be able to get somewhere with this. Okay, yay, 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 yay. Yay, 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 yay. No, it still didn't work. God damn it.
What?
Have you gone to like one of those Bitly style sites where they'll shorten the URL?
No, I have not yet. I'm going to have to try that
Well,
and
you
see
could
what
totally do
happens.
that.
Yeah, I could.
Also, I've discovered sometimes when there's a really long ass URL, there's a certain part of it where if you cut off everything after it, it'll still work. But it depends very much on the URL itself, whatever it may be.
Well,
So,
I'm going to try cutting off everything that occurs
Oh.
after the CGI character. And when I say CGI, I'm talking about Common Gateway Interface.
yeah, that's not what CGI means.
Okay, there we go. Oh, I might get somewhere with this. Somebody is... Yeah, okay, there you go. If this works at all, this is what I'm looking for. I want one.
I should probably actually open the stream so I can see whatever the hell's going on.
Yeah, I wish I could share these things I'm going to have to work on that and do something about it.
Okay, hold
I
on.
mean, bear with me, guys.
Man, there's my ugly mug. No, it's this thing I. Oh. Okay.
I'm still looking.
So it's the can opener you've been talking about.
Yes, and I want one of those because at least those work.
Well, there is something that I
Okay.
want that I recently put on my Amazon wish list that honestly I don't need very much, but damn it, I still want it.
You know, I have trouble
It's
with
a
my Amazon.
keychain.
Oh,
But yeah, let me show you here.
okay.
It's a keychain. There we go.
Let me to see this thing on there.
And it actually does light up too.
I love it.
You know, I mean,
love it.
speaking as the 80s arcade rat that I was, I totally
Mhm.
want one of those.
I see. I still didn't see the picture of the can opener, but okay.
Well, because there wasn't one. You have to actually open
You have
the
to go
link.
to the side chat and open the
Oh.
link.
Oh, okay.
I'm having trouble sharing
Okay.
these pictures because they don't go out on the line.
Oh yeah, I've seen those before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I
Well,
want one.
yeah.
I want several so that when one breaks, I still have fallbacks. You know, what the hell, man?
Yeah, you know, there are times I've thought very seriously about hoarding certain things simply because I have a feeling, a very strong feeling, that at some point they'll be discontinued or I won't be able to find them or
yes.
something. And so I need a supply.
I know that I've already done that with lipsticks.
Right.
Because you know you find the color and you like it and everything else, and that's when they discontinue it.
Well,
Right.
I look really bizarre in makeup, so I haven't really bothered. I don't like how I look in makeup. It doesn't look right. There's something wrong about it. Like, okay, I'll do my best here. I have some Snapchat filters. And some of them will put makeup on a person. So maybe I can find one that'll put makeup on me and you can see why I think it's horrid.
Hey, Beach, can you throw me the URL or whatever for that? I want one.
What the? No.
Or-
Mhm. Oh. No, that looks horrid. Oh my gosh, that looks horrid, but okay.
You sure it's just not the faces you're making?
I'm sure.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, there's
on.
Jess. I hadn't seen you come in. Hi, dear.
Hi, Jess.
Speak among yourselves. I'll keep doing this.
Oh, I'm
'Cause
still
I-
watching. I watched the exploding toilet video. Let's see.
Exploding toilet.
Damn it.
Yes.
I've got to see this.
Okay, sometimes my phone is super frustrating. I'm clicking the thing and it's not doing the thing with the thing. Come on.
They're giving away a possible Samsung S10, but it's got a European SIM card only, so it won't work for any of us in the States. Here goes the toilet.
Oh, look. Oh, look.
All right. So
Want.
it's such a
my
bizarre
God.
process. There really should be a way to just say, okay, that picture that's on my phone, send it directly to my computer.
You idiots!
Moo?
They're getting near the toilet while there's still smoke coming from it.
Oh, that's not a
Idiots.
good idea. Crop selection.
Okay, well,
oh God, that
it
looks
looks
bizarre.
Like it might have gone all the way through. The toilet survived in one piece, but the
Okay, strap in, because this is
I
me
get it.
with fakey makeup on.
okay, hold on. Let me see.
Let's just
It's
You
not the
know,
right colors for you. It's not
yeah,
the right colors.
Well, it changes the entire. If you'll excuse the
Okay.
expression, I mean, with that stuff going on over there, it makes you look like a China doll.
Yeah, I don't care for it. It doesn't look
You
right.
you need a darker lipstick for one,
Well, I mean, they have some that make you look like you're a goth, and even those don't work too well.
and the sparkly mascara does not work for you.
Well, that was part of my. Oh my gosh, there's a whole color wheel here. Oh no!
Okay, now we've got to see
Showing
this.
her expressions.
Oh Lord.
Well, that's
Oh my
just not
God.
right. There's one right now. It's got soda cans as hair rollers.
Oh my God. We have to see that one, Kate. You have to show us that
All
one.
right, give me a sec here. Oh God, the expression I have on my face. I should take a different picture, but no, I'm just gonna.
No, please don't.
Okay, give me a sec. My phone is a bit of a bitch when it comes to this. So let's see. Oh God,
We could spend a whole hour with her doing this. That would be so
At
fun.
least.
probably could.
Yeah.
But seriously, there really ought to be a way to like, you've got a picture on your phone, you've got your computer, you can just go swipe, and now it's on your computer, like through Bluetooth or some shit. That really
Eventually.
needs to exist.
Eventually, maybe we'll get lucky.
There
and that
was
will happen.
the program from I think it was endorsed by Cosmopolitan magazine of all goddamn things years ago. I mean, we're talking maybe 30 years ago, that took an attempt at what you're talking about, and it did a shitty job of it. Really, really shitty job.
Why am I hearing what sounds almost like a fax machine in the background?
Yeah, I'm hearing it too. I've been hearing it for a while, actually. I was telling Diana about it before you were here.
Okay,
Oh.
is it me? Because I've been told
It doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
Just sometimes.
I have been told that a
There it goes.
telephone can bleed over to the microphone and everything else, and oh holy shit.
Now, see, if you don't have that soda can wrap on your head, that is a good lipstick color for you. The dark red.
I just think I look weird in lipstick. It doesn't.
Well, see, but you've got the skin tone for the dark red.
Well, I
And-
mean, you're not wrong about the tone. It's just I don't think I look right in makeup. That's all.
You need to have your makeup done professionally at like a Dillard's. Go in and have them do a makeover for you and teach you how to do it.
Wait a minute. Is Dillard still around?
Oh yes.
Oh wow.
I buy bras from them all the time. It's the only place I can find bras big enough to fit.
they bought the May Company, if I remember correctly, and they were in Cleveland's Terminal Tower for a while, and then they just disappeared.
Oh my God, the face is Kate.
Okay. I told you there's one that'll basically like put dark goth makeup on you. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
have to show
God.
you the.
Okay.
I've often said I would make a damn good Batman villain, and if this picture is any indication, all right, let me. Get
Well, that's
this
what you
go-
need to do for Halloween then.
What a Batman villain!
Yeah.
What, are you giving Nicholson a run for his money, or what?
I sure hope not. All right. But I mean, if they're gonna remake everything,
Oh, Lord.
and they're gonna like race and gender flip everybody, then why not do it with absolutely everybody? You know, Batman's a chick, Commissioner Gordon's a chick, Robin's a boy. I mean, anyway.
Robin
sorry.
is a boy.
I was kidding.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Oh, holy shit!
That's a good picture.
That's halfway to Nicholson as the Joker. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I keep telling people I do the villain look rather well. So, I mean, because like I'm sure I've shown you the picture of me as the Grinch.
No.
I don't remember. You probably have shown it to
No.
me, but I don't
I
remember.
know Diana will remember this when she sees it, but
Oh yeah,
Oh,
oh
my.
yeah, oh
I would
yeah.
not call that the Grinch. That's the Wicked Witch of the West, even. Because she was
Okay,
all
but
face
that's a
painted green.
Santa hat on top there.
Yeah, but if you put a witch's hat on there,
But it's not a witch's hat now, is it? It's a Santa hat, thus making me the
why
Grinch.
can't the witch enjoy Christmas?
Have you seen The Wizard of Oz? There's no Christmas in The
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz.
Why not?
Well, you'll have to ask what's his face about it because I didn't write it, but there isn't any in there. So,
Well, that doesn't mean there's not any. It just
well,
means
but
they
wait,
weren't celebrating Christmas
okay,
at that
but,
point in
but at this
time.
point, we'd have so much explaining to do if
Wait,
I
this
walked
sounds
around in a Santa hat and green skin and tried to tell people I'm the Wicked Witch. They'd go, huh?
yeah. This sounds too much like armchair apologetics. Okay. I mean, did I bring that one out yet or no? I forget.
No, I don't
Oh,
think
oh my, oh my. What? Yeah. Why don't we do that? Because this is the one that always bugs me. And I was just thinking about it yesterday, and then this clown does it this morning.
Uh-huh.
Oh my, oh my. Guy by the name of Cameron Bertuzzi. Can what? You guys out in the side chat, please tell me if you can hear me. I hope I did this right. Um, I mean, he says, "What the heck am I hearing?" I'm hearing dunk, dunk, dunk.
I think that might be me, actually. I think my phone.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if I was doing something bad or if I was not doing something bad.
Well, it seemed to correlate or correspond every time I tapped on my phone. I think Snapchat might have been doing something funky, but maybe I'm
Okay.
wrong.
Now this guy, and SJ has been known to do it and everything else. You know, atheism doesn't offer hope in the face of suffering. Christianity does. Why is that a good thing? This is what I want to know. Okay, call me whatever you want to call me. But when I think of hope, I think of empty promises. I think of words to shut you up so you won't complain about what's going on and what you are prevented from taking action on. Think feudal. You know, think feudally, where the lords said,
Right.
"Well, you'll have your reward in the next life." So you know, just sit there
Do
and
what I want you to do.
yeah, don't mind. Don't mind my boot on your neck. You know, one of those things, and it just gets me. Really, it does. I'm
Robert
not.
X is like, Lavender, how can we answer when we can't hear you? So if they can hear you.
There you go. Oh my! At least I did that one right. At least I got that one. I had to screw around with this thing before I came on. It was working great on Sunday, and then something wasn't working when I first turned it on. Then maybe I have found the sequence because there seems to be a necessary sequence to get this thing to work right. So
Well, that's like, in order to get my picture to show on the Friday night movie nights, in order to get my Zoom picture to show, I have to open up Zoom before I even open up YouTube.
okay. Well, I mean, Mega Room. That's the point. There is.
Before the link even comes in.
Yeah, it's Christianity or not Christianity. Some of these armchair apologists seem to be marketing this hope thing as a reason to believe in their
Suffer.
God and to accept the suffering and the whole thing like that. I'm saying that I don't necessarily see hope as a good thing. You know, come jump all over me if you want to, but
Well, I mean, Hope did turn out to be evil on Xena, which is a reference most of you probably won't
Yes.
get. But so while we're talking about it,
Oh my god, that's so cute.
shut up, Clarion.
Although, what did they put on your nose?
it's a little gold heart.
Oh, okay. I can't
Yeah.
see quite
Okay.
well.
You want to be horrified though.
Oh
That's-
my god.
Oh, for
That's
the
the
love
boy
of
filter.
Oh
That
my
that
god.
that is the sex changing filter on
You would
Snapchat.
not make a good guy, Kate. You would
Kind of
not.
looks like what's his face, Hopper from Stranger Things, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Jeez, man. Blech!
mildly terrifying.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that'll swear you off a sex change, right? It's like if that no, I'm not a guy. I'm not going to do a guy. No,
Right.
it's not happening.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's not a thing I was ever contemplating.
There you go. Good for that. Yeah. Oh God. Oh
Now,
We have a
man.
naked person in the chat.
Is there?
Oh.
Oh, for
Yeah.
Artie! Artie! Yay! 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 Yay!
Artie's
Yay! Yay!
bringing
Yay! Oh man, where have you been? Where have you been all these years? Artie is a big, 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 big sweetie. Yes.
The stroke lip didn't help Kate.
What?
According to Artemis, the stroke lip, where you had your lip curled up, didn't work on the picture for the Snapchat
For the boy filter?
sex change filter. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, okay. Okay. Well, I've got another one that I could totally show. Mind you, it's a little terrifying with the cleavage, but it's because they have a toddler filter as well.
Oh
Oh
God.
no.
And
Oh
I
my
gotta
God.
tell you, I'm a cute little girl.
Aww.
Wait,
Yeah.
I have to bring this.
Oh my God.
I mean,
that's so
people have
cute.
said that it's scary with the cleavage, but
No.
still,
She could be. That doesn't look like a toddler. That looks like a
I know what, maybe
just going
a
into
12-year-old?
teenage. Yeah,
12. No,
with the cleavage.
that's
With the
not
cleavage, yes.
well, okay, but if the cleavage isn't there, how is
Well,
that
yeah.
12?
Uh,
I'm just saying.
It depends upon the 12-year-old in question, I suppose. I mean,
yeah.
some look a lot younger than others, and some look a lot older than others. Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
and they have this other filter that makes you look like a baby from the 70s.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave because I don't want to hear any more of this.
That's
Right.
nobody I know, is it?
That's Totally nobody you've ever met before, ever in your entire life. No, not a little bit of it. And neither is
No,
this.
that's a little Caitlin.
Yeah, well, you
Little
know.
Kate. Little Kate.
Yep.
Kate.
Back before I
I
started being old enough to straighten my fucking hair.
Yeah.
But
Oh
anyway.
my.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head off, okay? Because I'm reading.
Bye, sweetheart.
Take care, honey. Yeah, they do, don't they, Artie? It's amazing when
Oh,
I think back.
Well, they're
It
not
wasn't-
living like we used to.
I mean, adults look a lot younger now than when I was a kid, and I've
Well,
looked
there
at
you
pictures.
are.
It's not a perspective thing. People really
No.
genuinely ended up a bit more haggard by the end of their lives than they do now.
Yes,
Yeah, because
absolutely.
Life is cushy for a lot of people. They don't have to worry about some of the illnesses we had growing up that were possible killers, like polio.
Oh, this is the really interesting thing. I knew a kid with polio.
So did I.
And this was not that long ago. And okay, I'm saying it's not that long ago. For some of you, it's going to be that long ago. This was 1964. His name was Jimmy Powers, and he had the leg braces and the whole thing like this.
I wonder, was he related to Austin Powers?
I don't know Tutiso. No.
No, we had a girl who started school really late because she had polio.
Okay.
And she was going through high school and she was almost 25 because because they had to hold her back because of how bad the polio was. So, and she was wheelchair bound and
Well, a friend of mine had like a mother who had polio and was on those crutches, the
Mhm.
sort where you're gripping something and there's the thing around your arm
Right,
and it
right, right,
vibrates.
right. Yes, yes. Jimmy
Yeah.
had those.
yeah.
And yeah, so she got around in some of the weirdest looking ways, but that was my only direct and knowing encounter with polio.
Mhm. Well, by the time we were,
Oh, this is our toddler in
oh
chief, by the way.
God,
Oh
oh
man,
Rita.
that's
Oh
yeah.
God, that's scary. That's a
It's
nightmare.
just too accurate, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was I saying?
Something about cheese and polio.
No, I don't remember.
Well, there you
Unless
go,
we can
Artie.
find that
Yeah,
picture.
Well, I thought I was right about the polio part, but okay.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
okay.
people are definitely going more elderly, or sorry, less elderly now, or becoming
Right.
elderly later in life. Like the number of Hollywood stars who are probably in their 80s now, where I
Mhm.
look at them in a movie from 40 years ago and I'm like, were you ever young?
Mhm.
mm,
You know, because like
Well.
40, like most people don't think that I'm 44,
Mhm.
right? And I'm pretty okay with that. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I don't look my age probably because I've been able to sit on my ass for most of it.
oh, there
Right.
you go. Yeah, I mean, it's not the hard physical labor and the whole thing
Right.
like this that everybody was required to do just
Mhm.
to make it, you know, just to live.
Right. Well, that's
When
like
I was
my.
your age, we walked 10 miles to school uphill both ways.
You got it. There you
Yep.
go. Oh
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Lord.
like my mom. I look at her compared to a picture of my grandmother at the same age. And my grandma was just haggard, worn out. She helped build car engines in Granite City, Illinois, at a car plant, GM Motors. And I can't tell you the number of times she broke her back, broken bones, working just physically demanding labor. And my mom worked for the post office, which is also physically demanding, but she didn't look near as bad as my grandma at the
Okay
same
then.
age.
Okay.
So, but now my mom's got osteoporosis, so she's folding over.
I mean, it's interesting when I think about it. I'm still slightly younger, but not that much
Mhm.
younger than Bobka was when the slimy bastards took me home from the baby store. She
Mhm.
was 65 at the time, and she looked 65. She looked like an old woman.
Right.
And okay, here I am. I'm, you know, like a few months shy of 63, and people are
Mhm.
still taking me 10 years younger than I actually am. And I kind of,
Right.
doesn't get me any dates or anything, but I kind of like it. Um,
Right.
so,
Well,
I,
you're 6 years younger than my mom.
okay, so she's 56, 57, something like that.
No, you're younger than she is.
Oh, 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 oh. I got it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it
She
backwards.
is. She just turned 69
Okay, then.
in December. Because she's 19 years older than me.
Okay, then.
So, yeah.
And I mean, no problems with anything or anything like that,
Or
but I
no,
still say 19
67.
is too young to have a kid, but that's another story.
Yeah, I cannot imagine having a kid now, much less when I was 19. I mean, gosh, 19. I look back on how I was at 19 and I think to myself, I'm only slightly more of an idiot back then than I am now.
Right.
Why would anyone
Well,
trust me with children?
I was
Mm-hmm.
26 when I had tornado. And I'm still not sure if I was old enough.
Well, I was never, ever equipped to have a kid, so it's a damn good thing I never did.
Mm.
Well,
Um,
Oh, I honestly, like, my cat is enough responsibility for me.
Mhm.
The idea of having to get a child to a doctor, to a dentist, to a school, to
Oh
this, that, and
God,
the other thing,
yeah.
summer camp, never mind
Mhm.
paying for all of it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I want nothing to do with what, like, let me put it this way. I love my friends who have kids. I love hanging out with them and their kids. I think their
But
kids are
you
usually
give their
wonderful
kids
people.
back.
Yes, you can give them fucking back. That's what I
Mhm.
like about having friends with children is you can give the kids back.
Yeah, see,
I'm
I
just
have
saying.
been a single parent for 20 years now.
God,
Almost 21.
how it must weigh on you. I mean, really.
Oh,
I mean, considering that, if you'll excuse the expression, you're not the single parent of your everyday kid.
no.
You know,
No, I'm not.
tornado is not exactly run of the mill.
No.
And that's
And
got to
that
add some shit.
is
Yeah.
right. And it is an uphill struggle some days. Some days are better than others. Some days I go in my room, I bury myself in my blankets in my bed, and I muffle my screams of sheer frustration.
Well,
And I
I
laugh
guess
about it, but yeah.
I can say,
Oh God,
oh my, there we go.
the glowing
That's
eyeballs are pretty cool.
that's one of the filters is they will make light come out of your eye. You look around and you've got like flashlight eyes. It's a
Mhm.
thing.
I mean, I'm not saying that I, I would not ever wish not to have had him. There are multiple good things about my kid, but there are also, uh,
Challenges?
yeah, um, sometimes the challenge is as simple as getting him to take a shower
Mm.
and the constant nagging, hey, you stink, go take a shower, go take a shower, go take a shower for hours on end until he finally says, fine, stalks into the bathroom and takes a shower.
Yeah,
And
I know people who were like that, and they were okay. They were residents in mental institutions, basically. And
right.
when the
Well,
zookeepers would get on them enough, they would go into the area, wherever they
mhm.
would stick their head in and run the water over it and not get wet otherwise, to try to make it look, and everybody knew it wasn't working. And
Right.
the mindset that goes along with that is like, how the hell are you thinking? But
Well, I can maybe explain it a little because I've had times where I'm like, I should probably take a shower, but I just plain don't wanna. And a
Yeah.
lot of it is just I don't like doing menial
Oh,
tasks. You
BJ, I
know?
am
Like
so
like like
sorry.
trying to say clean the oven or something. You
Uh,
know, I hate leaving dirty dishes around because then they'll have to be done as opposed to I'm finished eating, quick rinse it out kind of stuff.
mhm.
I don't like to sweep. I don't like to do any of that stuff. Just the sort of menial tasks. Usually not because I'm like lazy or anything, but usually because I'm in the middle of a project. Like the sheer number of times I've let tasks that really need doing pile up just because I'm totally in the zone on the animation I'm working on or something.
yep.
It's
BJ,
like I'm doing work right now. I'm not just wasting my time, but I'm also not dealing with the basic necessities of life either. And so
Yeah.
I part of that might just be don't take me out of the zone.
our condolences, Beach. I'm
Yes,
sorry to hear
definitely.
that.
I saw that a little bit earlier when you put
Um,
that up. It's
just keep an eye on her if you're nearby, and depression's going to be probably a big thing for her right now. So, because that's hard.
Mm.
I don't know how that is supposed to, in quotes, work. Because I noticed that Beachy said it was only 6 weeks in. is it the case that you're supposed to be less depressed at 6 weeks than you are at 26 weeks? Or does it hit you
No,
the same way every
it hits you
time?
the same
Well,
way.
wait
Yeah,
a
I
minute.
don't
Hold
understand
on.
this stuff
Hold
because
on.
I've never
Hold
been in
on.
the position.
Hold on. It's oh, never mind. Okay, I think. Now, I mean, here's the thing: 6 weeks is not. I mean, often pregnancies aren't even known to be pregnancies at 6 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the
So,
things I was thinking. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so unless this is ambiguous and it turns out that it was a baby that was born and had been around for 6 weeks, like external for 6 weeks, that would be
No.
different. But
No. It depends on if she knew whether or not she was pregnant. Nowadays, a lot of the pregnancy tests can tell you within 3 days of missing. So, like,
go on.
less than a month in, you could find out you're pregnant.
I mean, I
But
guess, but I mean, as I
well,
understand, because I mean, speaking as someone who's never been pregnant, I mean, as I understand, a lot of women are told, "Oh, by the way, you're pregnant, and that's why you're feeling weird," when they're like literally months into it.
I don't see how they could not know. But then again, I felt when I got pregnant. I knew I got pregnant.
Oh, wow.
It
Well,
was
yeah,
Okay.
really
I
weird. It was like every single nerve in my body just fired at once. And I sat up
okay.
and I'm like, oh,
This
I'm
is
pregnant.
this is crazy because
So that
yeah,
sounds
Beach
remarkably like
says
having a seizure, actually. But
It
yeah,
does,
Beach
but
says they only knew for a week. So this is weird, man. I'm
right,
thinking, okay, on the first of the month, you're pregnant. On the 8th,
right,
it's bye bye. How the hell does
yeah.
that hit you? It's like wham, wham, twice. You know?
That would be
uh,
heartbreaking.
see, that's the thing. Maybe I'm heartless, but if that had happened to me and I was open to the idea of being pregnant in any way, let's,
Hmm.
if I find out, oh, by the way, you're pregnant, and then a week later, oh, by the way, yeah, not so much anymore, I would have been like, eh. I mean, just because it would have been so
You wouldn't
little
have the chance to
time.
really get used to
Yeah,
the idea.
yeah. I mean, there are a lot of things that have been major, significant changes in my life where it's like, it's been a week and it still hasn't really hit me yet, you
Hmm.
Uh,
know? And
Well, do they?
so,
Yeah, but normally, if you've miscarried that soon into the pregnancy, generally that usually means there was something wrong with the fetus and the body aborted it
hmm,
for because it wasn't viable.
hmm.
It doesn't always happen, but
Oh,
I
well, I mean,
know.
you hear, like, I've seen statistics of how many women were pregnant and then not pregnant, and they never even knew at all that they were
Yeah.
where it's
Well,
just like the body said, "Yeah, this is fertilized," but out,
yeah.
and no one's ever the wiser.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I what's even harder is when you have the baby and something happens. We had a
Oh, I can imagine
babysitter
that's much worse.
named Crystal, and the only thing I really remember about her is that she had hair as long as Crystal Gale. It was they were her hair. She would brush it every night while we were being babysat by her, and it was down to her ankles. And she had a baby, and then one day we had a new babysitter, and
Hmm.
we found out that her baby had suffered SIDS,
Oh boy. Okay.
and she just couldn't take babysitting anymore.
Hmm.
It broke her heart, and she just didn't want to see any other kids at that point in time. So it's
Hi, Na.
I want to know if that actually stands for something. I mean, to my brain, that says not applicable, not applicable.
not applicable, not allowed.
Or not available. Yeah, that's another
Not
one.
available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just like because the number of times have you ever you see someone online for ages, but you've only ever read their online name, and then you hear it said, and you're like, what? You know?
Yeah.
and yeah, so like okay, take for example Notja, right? Now it wouldn't
Okay.
shock me to discover that we've been calling him that for ages and that's not how it's actually pronounced. You know,
No,
Not your
I.
witness.
like if JAH on Notja, like if it was not Yah, like not I'm not Yah witness or something, it
I've
wouldn't shock me to discover that that was the case, that we've been mispronouncing it for ages. And
well, I have it on good authority that it is not Ja. Yeah.
okay, well, but you see what I'm saying?
I
It's like
absolutely do. Yeah.
the sheer amount of time that I spent thinking his name was Pelosia instead of Pelagia, for example.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and like some part of my brain even knew I was wrong, but could not change. You know what I mean? So I have to
Hmm.
wonder how many people out there have online names where it's like okay, take for example, you know, Oh my God, it's Chris.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, for the longest time, I thought her name was Zomgits Chris because
Okay. Okay.
I would never have said "Oh my God" for ZOMG.
Yeah.
It just
It's. I'd never heard that before. I'd heard of Chris. I've never heard of Oh my God. But
Yeah,
oh well.
well, I mean, but that
NA.
was a thing for a while. But even so, I look at her name, and in my brain says that's Zomgits Chris,
Hmm.
and so to this day, I still call her Zomgits.
Okay. NANA says yes,
I see it.
it's not applicable, not available.
Gotcha.
NA will do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call you Nana.
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 Na
Yeah.
But
na
not like
na na. Hey
yeah, yeah, yeah.
hey. Go
But not like
ahead.
Nana, like my grandma Nana. No, no, this is just Nana.
Nana. Na
You
na
know,
na na
Nana.
na na
Right?
na.
Hey, do you want to do this thing tonight? Nana. You know.
There you go. Well, there's the other one that is so interesting in its own way. The names that different people have for their grandparents.
Mhm.
Like Mama and Pap Pap is one I had to get used to
Oh,
when I came out here.
oh.
Oh, yeah. See, it was Granny and Pap Pap for me.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
here's the one that drives me up the friggin' wall. Okay,
Papa.
because of all of the generation of that's my generation, where you know we all have the same grandparents in common, right?
Mhm.
I'm the oldest of all of my cousins.
Uh huh.
Now, you would think that would mean then that when I said Grandpa Tony, he would be Grandpa Tony, but no, no, I show up to a family event and all of a sudden everyone's calling him Pop Pop, and I'm like, but he's Grandpa Tony. And I'm like, yeah, Pop Pop. I'm like, no, he's not Pop Pop. And also, it's not called Soda Soda either. It's just soda. But you know, well, so I mean that one drove me up the wall because I do not like the sound of pop pop. I just think that sounds silly. It sounds
Yes,
like
it
a nickname
does.
for popcorn, you know. But that's what they, you know. So I also had you know, Grandpa Bob, Grandma Ann, all of those. It was Grandma and Grandpa. I didn't have the like you know, the other ways to call them stuff like pop pop or nana or any of that. I just didn't have it.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
that's like my mom tried to get us to call my grandpa Cozart Paw Paw,
oh Lord.
Really.
and as a kid, especially coming back from Pennsylvania, it
Mhm.
never came out Paw Paw, and it was Pa Pa, so it sounded like we were calling him Papa.
Hmm.
So and it's like that's not gonna work. Just call him Grandpa.
Well, one
Yeah,
thing that go on.
Mega, yeah, as Pap Pap is what the mill hunkies out here call Grandpa.
Yes. Yep.
Mm. One thing that is slightly off topic, but not quite, that for some reason stuck in my brain is, you know who Neil Patrick Harris is, right? The
Yes.
actor who plays
Mm-hmm.
Doogie
Hmm.
Howser, who's also Barney Stinson on How I Met Your Mother.
Right.
He's gay and he has a husband and they have two
Hmm.
kids,
Okay,
Uh
right?
huh.
okay.
And so at one point, like in an interview, he was saying, "Well, what do the kids call us?" And so he is Papa, and the other guy, I forget his husband's name, is Daddy, right? So they got Daddy and Papa,
Hmm.
Okay.
right? But by contrast, there is a lesbian couple from my old neighborhood back in Vermont. In fact, they were one of the couples that got civil unions even started, right?
Oh,
Right.
okay then.
Now, okay, to be fair, Nina is a bit femme, but Stacy is only slightly butch. I'd say she falls more tomboy than butch. But even so, their son calls Nina mom and Stacy pop.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's a thing.
What was that look for, Lavender?
Oh, Beach put up the
the bottle
link,
opener.
and it has a wooden handle and everything. Oh my!
It doesn't have everything.
It doesn't have a church key.
No, it doesn't. I've got a couple of those around here.
I've actually. I wonder.
Why are they called that anyway?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know
The
why they
church
are
key.
called church keys. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It must be something like they originally used them to open the bottle of like enchanted blood wine or whatever the fuck they used.
I like it. I like it.
Enchanted blood wine sounds like something out of Klingon mythology, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Wait a minute. One item added to list. I don't see it in the list though. I see other things that I put there, but yeah, because the wooden handle is just so nice. It's not that metal handle that you got on the potato peelers, and that could become a pain in the fingers when you're
That's right,
using it for a
Peach.
long time.
It doesn't have a hot guy to work for you. So it's no good.
Okay.
Yeah, I could do
make
without
you,
the hot guy.
I was going to make a bad joke about how painful it can be if you worked a wooden handle, a handle made of wood,
Okay
too
then.
much. Sorry, I'll just. It wasn't.
Well,
It was
okay.
half
You never know.
closed in my
Splinters.
head and it wasn't working. I know it wasn't
Yeah,
working. so-
splinters.
And I will admit
In the
that
wrong place.
there has been the
Well, that's not the
occasional.
kind of wood I meant.
Yeah. I will admit that there has been, have been one or two guys that caught my attention. And no, I'm not naming names. They're fairly well known. But it's one of these things with a relationship. No, I don't think it would ever work. And besides, neither of them is available.
Sweaty hot sex might
Well,
be worth it.
I mean, I've wondered, like, because I've said many times that I am actually quite thoroughly creeped out by penises. Just
Right.
right. The guys have 1/8 of Cthulhu hanging off their crotch. I don't get it. What would happen? What would happen if I were to encounter an attractive trans man who never had bottom surgery? I don't know what I'd do. Because there are a couple of actors out there where I'm like, I can see how he's an attractive man, and I'm like, if it turned out that Breckin Meyer was a trans dude, what would I do? I don't know. I really don't.
Good question.
And I realize that a lot of people are probably going to be pissed at me because I'm way shallow, that the genitals shouldn't matter, but it does a little.
It does. Because if I'm sorry, I've seen both circumcised and uncircumcised, and I will take a circumcised any day. Because uncircumcised is just, it's nasty. It's foul. If they don't take proper care of the whole thing, it can be absolutely just disgusting.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
It's a lint trap. I'll put it that way.
Ew.
I'm serious.
Well, I mean, I'm aware that the term smegma exists for a reason, but still.
Oh, okay, Chris. So you carry a P-51. Alrighty then. Those are fun.
But a P-51 was an airplane.
It is.
And did they have airplane-specific can openers, or is this something else?
I forget how they got their names, but there are two can openers of similar type but different size. There's a P38 and a P51.
I see.
The P38 is the smaller one. The P51 is
Yes.
larger. I'm gonna have to try to find.
So, like, okay, if I mentioned a name, if I was ever gonna even try a guy and try to make it more like to really give it a try, I'd rather it was a guy like Breckenmeyer.
Okay.
Meh.
No? All right.
Didn't do
Not
anything for me, but
No.
What was that?
didn't do anything for me. But what the
All
heck?
right. Well, I'm just saying is that if I was ever gonna like really seriously consider it, I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay,
Circumcision
here
is
we go.
not almost entirely religious. I didn't get my son circumcised because of religion. Okay. The thing about circumcision is that it is cleaner. Okay? The foreskin, if you don't pull it back to clean properly, can trap lint, dirt, bacteria, infectious stuff.
Yeah, and with the subject of
So
earlier.
just learn a little hygiene for crying out loud.
Well, considering the
Right,
subject of earlier
but-
discussion, I could imagine. Oh Lord, would that be horrible?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. For me, it was the decision of what is better for Tornado, and a lot of young mothers are not taught this in the hospital anymore. It used to be when you were in the hospital after having a baby, you got taught how to diaper your baby, you got taught how to clean your baby, you got taught how to take care of the baby. My mom told me all about this when I told her I was pregnant. She's like, "Oh yeah, you should learn all that in the hospital." And I didn't learn all that in the hospital.
Well, these days they charge you for baby classes, like that you're
Right.
supposed to take before you deliver.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. If you don't have the money to take those classes, you don't learn those things.
Thing
So
is,
it's
though,
not always.
as I understand it, circumcising a boy is kind of like removing a girl's clitoris, though. Like there's a lot of nerves in there that you're now removing from a
Well,
boy.
yeah. And as far as I understand it, there is circumcision and then there's circumcision. Allegedly, the usual thing is nowhere near as bad as the ritual circumcision that is practiced by the
Jewish.
observant Jews, the kosher Jews.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you get the guys removing it with their mouth. I mean,
Oh, well, that's a
why?
whole bunch of shit. There, yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. That has
That just seems
been
like
a
the
disease
silliest
vector.
thing. I mean, even if it was like there was no homoerotic overtones to it whatsoever, what if the baby pees in your mouth?
Ugh.
I'm just thinking that mouths and dicks should probably not meet unless it's between consenting adults.
Oh, hi, Purple.
Hi.
Yeah, the boy
How you doing?
here for a little bit. Hello, dear.
But-
How is you?
You see, that's not why I got Tornado circumcised. I didn't
Okay.
get circumcised because of religious. I got it because we already knew he was going to have problems. I mean, born with the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck with an emergency C-section. He was going to be having mental issues from the start. And the doctors knew it, so they said, you know what? It's going to be easier once he gets older to just take care of this now and circumcise him because you're going to have a lot more issues going on than just having to deal with that.
So, you know how I know that Anakin Skywalker is Jewish?
How?
He removed his foreskin.
Oh, God.
No,
Oh, my God.
Now, as
you love it.
As far as that goes, I mean, well, back in the day, right after my birth, I was circumcised because that's what was done.
Right. You
Almost
that's
nobody
true.
was left intact.
Right. In a military hospital, that's another thing. You don't get a choice.
Really?
No, you don't.
Huh. Even if you tell them don't?
I think you have to have it on a consent. You don't sign a consent form. They do it unless you tell them before the baby is born. There's a procedural form that you can fill out, but they don't tell you anything about it if you don't ask about it.
That seems
Okay,
so
so you
strange.
have to know to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then.
Have you seen those plastic trays that they strap children down to have it done?
No.
It honestly, it looks for all the world like they're about to execute by lethal injection or something.
Mm-mm. They did it in the operating room right after my C-section. Took them 2 minutes. Zip zap, it was done. They didn't strap him down or anything.
Well, they have a thing. I'm looking at a picture of it right now, although it's kind of low res. Let me see how it looks. Yeah, that's not such a great, but you'll get the idea.
Okay, let me.
There. Okay, so they will strap a child to this plastic tray,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they do the circumcision with. In fact, oh my gosh, that's a terrifying image.
Okay,
Yeah,
so they don't
like
want
that.
any squirming going on. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you look at that. That's terrifying. There's got not what I meant to do. There's got to be some trauma involved there. You know, I mean, that looks positively terrifying.
Beach, this is interesting. When you say didn't even cry, I remember the discussion going.
Mega G, why is circumcision wrong just because you don't agree with it?
Well, mostly because the baby doesn't have a choice. You know, I mean, this is not something done to a consenting adult.
Right, but okay, the parents have to consent normally.
Yeah, but then even then, you're having your body, your child's body physically altered before they're old enough to make any kind of decision. I think that's not exactly right for anybody, frankly.
There's a whole big discussion one could have about that sort of thing because you could get some surgical procedures entering into that discussion that might be considered necessary procedures. For example, putting that loop of spine back inside the body for those kids with spina bifida, that sort of thing. I know I'm going way off the edge here.
I mean, obviously, there's a line for like medical necessity in the face of emergency or something. Mm-hmm. Getting consent to do something to a child who's not ready for it. That makes sense. But there is no emergency involved with a circumcision, generally speaking. I'm sure there must have been one or two in history where, oh my gosh, we have to do this now. But in general, it's an elective procedure, if it's anything. Mm-hmm. And it seems to me that it should be left up to the person getting it done. Like when they hit adulthood, so do you want the circumcision package, if you know what I mean? And they get to decide then as an adult.
Oh my! Now, Beach, this is an interesting thing you say. You say I held my son. Took 2 seconds. That reminds me of a bit from the discussion between Hitchens, Gomes, and Kushner. Peter Gomes? There it is. The Baptist minister from Harvard, and then Harold Kushner. The why do bad things happen to good people? Hitchens got on the subject of infant circumcision, and Kushner happened to say, what is so wrong with that? My son cried more at his first haircut than he did at his breast. Oh my God, Hitchens just about lost it right there on the stage. Hitchens is was a big advocate of leaving the kid intact. Yeah, the discussion gets a little, shall we say, what's the word I'm looking
Murky?
for? Emotional. That's the word I'm looking for at times. Yeah.
Well-
I know a few people who go off the edge on that topic.
Well, I mean, you hear about the Muslim folks who will say to their daughters, "Okay, we're removing your clitoris today." You know, the whole genital mutilation thing, and a lot of people have pointed out that male circumcision is very similar in many respects. So, I mean, I can see an argument against both of them.
Well, I'm just.
Yeah, there you go, Megarome. Yeah, that discussion.
Oh.
Yes. I will find that somewhere, and it's well on into the topic, but it's a decent one to look at. What have we got here? Okay, Hitchens, Combs, Kushner. And there we are. Okay, here's a nice short version where that happened. Copy link location. And we are just going to throw it at people here over there. And if you want to see it, you can see it. If not...
Okay. Mega. Most people here know my son. Okay? They know that he is autistic with Asperger's syndrome. So mental capacity for him, yes, is an issue. So I'm not saying that I had him circumcised because I thought it was gross. Okay?
Oh, hello, lunch. Anyway,
Oh, my.
Go.
Well, yeah, I think Amiga Nuts has a point because the procedure for girls, I'm thinking, is closer to removing the glands rather
yeah,
than the
well,
force.
I didn't say it was a direct 1-to-1 ratio.
Oh no,
What
I know you
said was
didn't. Right?
no.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had to worry about that sort of thing, so
Yes, I said
didn't-
I found it unattractive in my first husband, who did not keep it clean. That has nothing to do with my 23-year-old son.
Well, let's try this another way.
we may want to try this another way, or we may want to not try it at all.
Well, okay, but let me just put it
Sure thing.
Had your son been able to and had the initiative to regularly clean himself, and you knew this would be the case, would you have done it?
No.
There we go. That's what I thought.
But I wasn't asked that by Mega. She's just going off
No,
on...
I know. That's why I'm saying it, so that we can
Yeah.
get it out between two people who are at this moment probably a little bit on the simpatico side.
Right.
Mm-hmm. How about those Cubs?
Yeah. Yeah, how about the local sports team, huh? Go sports, do the thing, win the points.
Oh shit! No, it's oh god. I wish I could go back to Chicago because Wrigley Field is an absolutely beautiful place. I mean, to me, it is anyway. When they say the friendly confines, God, they mean it. And what's really, really, really great are those not exactly bleacher seating. It's almost box seating on the other side of the outfield fence. It's on the top of buildings. And you're actually sitting there watching the damn game. Nowhere else in the freaking world can you do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had this thought a couple of days ago, and I think the answer is none. But the question in my head was, are there any team sports, like as in not track and field, where winning is not determined by getting points? points. You know, like you look at football, you look at baseball, you look at hockey, you look at tennis, you look at
Soccer.
all that stuff. Yeah, it's all points based. You know, it's kind of like I was looking at something George Carlin was doing when he was comparing baseball to football, and yeah, well, I mean, he had a point. Baseball is
Yeah.
about the only game that is not timed. The only sport that's not timed. You look at again, soccer, baseball, hockey, all of that. The game ends when the timer runs out. Whereas in
Mhm.
baseball, the game ends when you've struck enough people out, you know, or
Mhm.
tagged them out or whatever. And I was thinking, wow, that is true. Almost every game that I can think of as a timer. Are there any where the win conditions aren't points?
Uh, okay. Okay.
I
If they are
don't
not
know.
points, well, that leaves tennis out because points are the
Right.
winning. Yeah, you
Mhm,
score a sufficient number of points.
mhm.
It's not timed, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
If you'll
And
I
excuse
mean,
the
each
like, at
expression.
least with
sport.
like a race, and I left out track and field for a reason because they tend to be different. But you know, like with a relay race, whoever crosses the
Mhm.
finish line wins. It's not timed except by the time taken up by the
Right.
runners,
See,
right?
the only other thing
So,
I could
I
think of.
mean, like crossing a threshold is the win condition there. But in a sport
Uh,
that's more sporty, I mean, I don't know how to draw this distinction to make it to make people understand I'm talking about things like baseball, football, hockey, tennis, all of that, rather
not
than
swimming.
something like pole vaulting.
Well,
Uh,
even swim meets and stuff are point based in dive competitions. So,
mm,
I'm looking here, and okay, this is not. I had found a site that had the rules. I'm trying to remember the win conditions for 43-man Squamish.
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 I
This.
know the rules. I know the winning conditions for 52 card pickup.
There you go. Now, 43-man Squamish was invented by a writer from Mad Magazine by the name of Tom Koch.
Oh,
Um, and it's just absolutely crazy. Um, it's insane is what it is.
is this
Okay,
anything like Marsh Gammon
it might well be.
or Basque Ball?
Okay, here we have a brief summary. Where is this? Oh, it's on a site. Okay. Um, 43-man Squamish is a game played by 86 people, 43 on two teams, as the name suggests. This amazing game was created 51 years ago in 1965 by young mad writer named Tom Koch. The idea for the game came from several sports and it says enthusiasts, might be enthusiasts. Really, only Tom could come up with this crazy and wacky sport. Seeing too many college sports having way too much professionalism in them. So 43-man Squamish was created to combat that. Though the game has been around for over half a decade, its official rules have yet to be fully implemented. This has caused many spin off versions to appear all over. The reason its rules haven't fully been implemented was to make the game almost impossible to play. Thus,
Oh
if there
my.
was professionalism, it would be very little. The rules that were released to the public were too wacky and crazy for a common person to understand. Okay, yeah, and got some of the Mad Magazine pages here, and I don't unfortunately see the win conditions. Damn it! I don't know
One
if
of my
there are
favorite,
any.
There
one of
probably
the favorite
aren't.
sports I ever heard about. You ever watch Alf?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
alien
Because
life
Alf
form.
was there was one episode of Alf where he talked about playing Clane ball. Now, Clane ball is just like hockey, except there's no skating or puck.
Oh,
You just hit
Okay.
people with sticks. That's all.
Oh my.
Eh,
and I'm just halfway imagining what you could do with the sticks. Um,
you hit people with them. That's the game.
I like Beach's comment. The one with the most teeth left at the end wins.
Right.
Oh man, I actually went to a fight once, and a hockey game broke out.
Mm.
Oh. Oh,
It's an
that's
old
bad.
one. It's a really old one.
That
Mhm.
joke is so old. It
Yeah.
really is. I've heard that joke so many times.
I've actually
Whoa,
I've actually gone to one
that's
hockey game.
Columbia. Mhm.
Yeah.
It
Oh
was
yeah. I'm infested with lap kitties, and she's been meowing.
yeah. The game I attended was the Penguins hosting the Maple Leafs, and the Maple Leafs are so bad that it was like a practice session. But that was another story entirely. Um,
Mm.
it was just interesting to watch. What the hell. Um, Definitely not a game. I don't think I would want to play that game. Just too violent. I mean, just there.
Well,
I mean,
Oh yeah,
there's
yeah.
occasionally more than occasionally blood on the ice.
Hmm.
I heard that blood bounces on ice because of the temperature difference.
Okay, then.
I don't know. I read that somewhere.
No clue.
Of all of the major sports in at least this country, I've never been to a football game or a hockey game, but I have definitely been to baseball and soccer.
I've been
Hmm.
to one of each, and I don't think. Well, football game, I won't be going back anytime soon. I was to a football game back in the mid 80s. It was the Cleveland Browns hosting the New Orleans Saints, and the view from our seats and everything else was just no, it was uninspiring, totally.
Mm.
And then the Penguins hosting the Maple Leafs. Perhaps were there better teams involved? I
Hmm.
might like it, but in that particular case, no. But oh man, I've been to some amazing baseball games. Oh my word!
Well,
Mm.
I told you about the turn ahead the clock game I went to, right?
I think so.
There's the one where Scotty from Star Trek threw out the first pitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually my
Oh
only
my.
truly remarkable baseball story. I've been to see oh god, why am I the Seattle Mariners multiple times, but nothing stuck with me more than watching Scotty throw out the first pitch after walking onto the field from a DeLorean.
Okay, then. No,
Yeah.
the game I saw in Chicago. Oh God, that was an amazing game. It had to be the most exciting game of the entire season. The Reds were at Wrigley. Second inning, the Reds are ahead 9-0. Uh, then the Cubs pitcher eventually left the game because he was injured. Right around the
Hmm.
sixth inning, the Cubs tied the damn game, including the four home runs, three of them consecutive. The crowd was going nuts. They just screaming, yelling, "Yeah, yeah!" Shit I've never heard here in Pittsburgh. Um,
Hmm.
and just listening and watching the crowd was the amazing thing. How they were getting into the damn game. Well, just like the Yankee game I attended, they were in the middle of a pennant race, and the responsiveness of the fans was something I just had not seen before. You needed ear protection for all the roaring of the crowd.
Hmm.
And I will just keep these memories, and I will.
Have you ever seen a picture of James Doohan in his World War II gear?
Oh my! Oh my!
Oh.
Because, he's missing, or well, no, he's dead now, but he was missing two fingers on one of his hands from World War
Really?
II. And
Okay.
they did their best to not show it on camera, but every now and then there's a couple of shots from Star Trek where you can see the missing fingers. And yeah, so that's what he looked like in World War II.
Hmm.
Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Yeah, it's kind of a cutie actually,
I
but
actually have a picture of my dad with James Muldoon.
There's no Mick there, but okay. I mean, number one, he's like Scottish, not Irish, and number two, it's just doing.
Oh, James doing. Sorry. Why am I
Yeah.
thinking Muldoon? Brain tired. But Yeah, I've got a picture of him shaking his hand. So,
Oh my. Okay, now where I have had, or where I have the choice of anyone that I could meet that would be really, really wonderful, besides Kate, um, I'm thinking here, I really would not have minded meeting Gene Cernan,
mm,
Apollo era astronaut. He commanded Apollo 17. He was lunar module pilot Apollo 10. Um,
mhm.
let's see, who else? Pete Conrad. The stories about him are amazing. I've got to meet a few people. I mean, I got to meet Clive Sinclair. That was fun. If
So,
any, if anybody here has heard of the Sinclair computers,
Mm-mm.
I've heard of Commander Jeffrey Sinclair from Babylon 5.
okay, yeah, I have to look up. I'm trying to remember. Sinclair morphed into something else, I think.
I got to meet David Copperfield.
Oh my!
Ah,
Hmm.
I got to meet him briefly once too, very briefly. Like as he's high, and that was it.
Hmm?
I was at one of his shows, and I was in the line
Mm.
to get an autograph. He said hi, and that was about extent of our interaction.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. Here. Oh, Timex. That's who picked it up. Okay.
Well, don't
The guy
guys
who
usually
came
go on next?
something like that. The guy who came up with this stuff. Um, he spoke at one of the Mensa conventions. I actually got to talk to him a little bit. Um, British character, very. What's the
Mm.
word I'm
Okay.
looking for? A rather conservative type person, soft spoken, um, nice guy. Overall, really wonderful person.
Mm.
Hmm.
It's interesting though the people I've if that I've got to meet, if you want to call them second tier celebrities,
Okay.
it's just kind of nice in its own way.
Hmm.
I mean, no, I never got to meet John Glenn, although it came close. There was a father daughter breakfast at the church that I attended. I tried to talk the old man into letting me wear a dress and going on in. That didn't work out too well. Oh man.
There's a picture I posted on Twitter recently. You probably saw it. The one about Buzz Aldrin. No,
Wait a minute. The one where he's taking a shot at what the hell was his name?
Not so
Not so
much.
much. Okay. My memory is all shot.
Yeah,
Oh my.
you
Oh
gotta love
man,
it.
you gotta love it. I don't know. Would I like to meet Buzz? I'm not sure. I mean, he's all full of himself. Okay.
Is he?
Um.
I mean, like, okay, I'm trying to remember. I think it was The Big Bang Theory. There was an episode where Howard had gone to the International Space Station, and then when he got back to Earth, he wouldn't shut up about it, and people were trying to get him to knock it off. And so then, like, they had gotten some footage of Buzz Aldrin on Halloween where he was giving candy to kids, going, "I walked on the moon. I'm an astronaut," like the whole thing where he's giving kids candy and bragging about being in the space program. And Howard was like, "Okay, I get it now. I'll shut up." You know.
mm,
So, but if he's okay to make fun of himself that way on television, I would imagine he can't be that full of himself.
um. I know he got on the wrong side of a lot of his coworkers. Of course, the astronaut corps were a bunch of crazy guys anyway. I mean, they were all full of themselves when you came down to it. Um, At least back in the 60s, the 70s.
Well, I mean,
My
imagine how
understand.
worse it would have been if they'd been full of someone else.
Mm,
Just saying.
well, my understanding is that in the early days there were someone else's that were all full of them, and but that's
Yeah.
I mean, Al Shepard joked about it after a while. I mean, shortly before he died, he was being interviewed and was talking about the young ladies who wanted to get into an astronaut's pants, and he said something about if they knew how easy it was, perhaps it wouldn't have been a life goal for them.
Well, I mean, that makes it sound like easy.
What what the astronauts being easy? Oh hell yes they were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there were a few who were not. My understanding was that John Glenn was the clean cut Boy Scout that he appeared to be. So was Neil.
And wasn't why do I keep blanking on his name? The dude who blew the capsule too early, or maybe he didn't. We're not sure.
Gus Grissom.
Yeah, well, wasn't he hitched?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and his
Not
wife.
that means you would necessarily engage in fidelity, but still.
I mean, Betty at one point said, I don't even want to know if he had any girlfriends on the side, and just don't want to, ruin it for me. Um, but it was well known among many of them, yeah. So it's
I mean, I understand that being an astronaut is kind of like being a rock star. Goodness knows I'd go kind of gooey meeting an astronaut, especially if I could have met Sally Ride, for example. Except I think I did meet Sally Ride. Well, I mean, that's the thing is like, I remember there was an astronaut who came to talk to my school, and I think it was Sally Ride, but I don't remember if it was Sally Ride or not.
oh man, envy, 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 envy. If there was anyone I would have wanted to meet, it would have been
What I
Ride.
remember, the thing I remember most is that she had a tile from the space shuttle, like in her hand, and she was saying, "Don't touch it." Because like little flecks of glass-like particles can get on your finger, and if you rub your eye, it'll be like scraping it with a razor blade. And that's why she was holding it with a cloth draped over her hand. But it was a tile from one of the space shuttles.
Okay then.
I don't. I wish I could remember if that was Sally Ride.
She would have been an amazing person to meet, really.
Yeah, but I was in 5th grade, so I was in no position to appreciate it. I was still thinking space was like Star Wars back then. So, you know.
Okay, so wait a minute now. Yeah, that very well could have been Ride. I'm trying to remember if she was the only one who had flown by then.
Well, 5th grade was, for me, it was when she was there, whoever she was, and it was also the same year Challenger blew up.
Oh, so that's 86. Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. And I think she was on the investigative committee for that. I think. There were some interesting names on there. Well, there's another person I wouldn't have minded meeting. Would be Feynman. But yeah, there's some stories about him too.
So here's my question: if you could meet celebrities in the performing arts, who would they be?
I'd love to see Al again. I haven't seen him in over 40 years.
Well, okay. Someone else.
Okay, someone else. Patrick Stewart might be one for his work in Shakespeare.
So what? Okay, rewind a sec here. Now, by Al, I assume you meant Alan.
Alan Ruck.
Yeah, right, Rock, exactly. You've said you're still in contact with him, even if you haven't been
Yeah,
physically
yeah.
in each other's presence
I haven't
for a
talked to
while.
him in
Okay.
a while. I'll have to drop him a note. He's always extremely
Yeah.
busy and shit.
Well,
But
here's a question. If I were to
hmm,
ever bump into the guy and I mentioned your name, would he know who I meant?
yeah, he would.
Okay.
Yeah, he would know both names. As a matter of fact, he would know Edward and Diana.
Oh, okay. I now, granted, I'm not asking you to say it, but I don't remember your dead last name.
Oh no, I've said it on the air before. It's Zavartke.
Oh, okay. You have said it before. All
Hmm.
right. I couldn't remember. It's just that you know, I don't memorize that sort of thing because in my world, you're Dana Clarion.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he amazed the hell out of me because this is the cute little story here. When I first joined Facebook, you know how they throw the names at you. You might know this person, you worked with him, or you went to school with. Al's name was the first one they threw at me. And I was like, of course I
Huh.
remember him. Now, will he remember me? Will he even want to talk to me? Because he knew Edward, not Diana. And it was so,
Right.
and not only did he remember, um, he's fine with, the transition and everything. And it appeared that he even thought well of me back then, which, would have surprised the shit out of me. But he's such a sweetie. He really is. Like I say, it's been quite a while since I've dropped him a note. I'm going to have to do that. I remember one time I dropped him a note. Hey, how you doing? What's up? And he said, well, I'm in. I'm trying to remember if it was in Budapest or something like that. And it's, Al, are you ever in one place long enough to set your watch? And well, I don't wear a watch anymore, so that's solved. You know.
Well, there's no reason to wear a watch when you have a phone.
There you go. It's yeah, because he was everywhere. I don't know if he still is or not, but I think he was in Budapest, and Mimi was in somewhere in Scotland at the time.
Maybe.
His wife.
Uh,
I can't even remember her actual first name. Everybody knows her as Mimi. Um, let's see.
well, I mean, I'm looking now. It says here, Mirel Enos.
There we go, Mirel. Yeah. Yeah, the one complaint I have with Al.
Jesus, he has spawned a lot. He's got 4 Rugrats.
Yeah, and I was headed there. The one complaint I have with him, and I've mentioned it to him, is that the younger two he had very late in life, and I said, Al, think about this. When the kids, the two younger kids are in high school, you're going to be well over 70. And he's, well, my wife is young, and it's like, Al, that's not the point.
Hmm. Well, gosh, how young is she? She is ever so slightly older than me.
Yeah, yeah, and
Like September 22 end of 1975. I'm December 15th.
Al is a year older than I am.
Crazy pants.
He was born one July 1956. And yeah, it's like that. I mean, okay, he and Morel, that doesn't bother me at all. But he and the kids, that's what bothers me a little bit.
Well, what's wrong with it?
The kids have a very old parent, if you want to put it that way. And I mean, I remember what it was like with me, and the slimy bastards were only 10 years older than the other kids' parents. It was noticeable. And then the other thing, too, is, I mean, as far as doing this stuff with the kids and everything else, you're running into an age problem, that sort of thing. And then maybe I'm full of shit,
What exactly is the problem? Is my question.
I mean, I'm thinking that maybe there's, a good deal of stuff that he's not going to be able to do with the kids because he's too old for it.
Like what? Play catch or some shit?
Yeah, maybe, and then again, keep in mind also that I could be entirely full of it, right?
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I find myself wondering what his home life is like. Well, I wonder what the home lives of any celebrities are like. I
Yeah,
mean,
well, there you go.
I was actually reading an article recently about some of the crazy steps that actors will go through uh, to just walk around and go shopping or whatever without being recognized. And some of it's absolutely crazy. Like, for example, I want to say it's Justin Bieber. I'm not sure, actually has a wheelchair that he will go around in just so people don't think it's
Huh.
him. Yeah.
Weird.
And
Okay.
like, there are times I'm still like, I get a lot of people telling me that I should go into acting. They think my voice is unique and they think I could act really well and all this stuff. And then I hear these horror stories about what it's like to live in Hollywood, to constantly going on auditions and dealing with rejection. And if you get super uber famous, the fact that you have like no private life, where you get the paparazzi barking outside your front gate just waiting for any possible scandal. I find myself thinking, would I want that in any way?
Hmm.
You know?
Mm.
And so I don't know. I mean, what must it be like to be the child of a celebrity? I can't even imagine.
I don't think I'd want to be. Definitely
Hmm.
not. Um, well, I don't know that I'd ever want to be a major celebrity, period. Um,
I mean, when I think about it, I realize if I ever wanted to get into acting, it would be a means to an end, just to be part of sci-fi culture.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
You know, because I dig on sci-fi.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing, is like if someone said, "Hey, you can act. Do you want to be in a family drama that's like got no like technology or magic or anything in it at all?" And I'd be like, "No. Why would I want to do that?" If you
Mm-hmm.
get a Star Wars movie or a Star Trek movie or something, then you come to me. I'll be your next Terminator for you if you need it. But I don't want to be, in the family drama.
Hmm.
But I mean, and I'm willing to bet that there's a lot of actors out there who would hear that and go, "You have no
Mm-hmm.
appreciation for the craft. You just want to do the fun stuff, and it's not about acting for you." And I'm like, you might have a point there.
Um, Let me see. Who was it that had said this? Mentioned Al and cancer in the same sentence. Oh, here we go. I'm not sure if it was the surviving cancer. I've seen a vague reference to an illness, and maybe that was it. I'm not sure. We haven't talked about it. Well, yeah, Al's dad would have been in World War II. I mean, had I had a father, he would have been in World War II as well. I mean, the male slimy bastard was in the Pacific Theater, went into the Navy in 1943. What do you got on that thing over here? I got to see, what is that? Oh, it was
What?
lanes for phones and not for phones. Okay, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and really, the only way or at least the MSB's father was not in World War One was because he was not an American citizen. And I'm trying to remember if he was even here yet. I think he was in America at the time, but he definitely wasn't an American citizen yet. Okay, there's an interesting one from Purple. Yeah, his father was 43 when he was born. Um, the slimy bastards were 33 years old when they took me home from the baby store. And with the other kids, most of their parents were 10 years younger. Oh, yay. Mega Room says, "You're famous to me, Kate." Yay.
Well, okay, but you know what I mean. I hate when people do that, where you're saying something, making a point, it's fairly specific, and then.
Well, I've actually been recognized a couple of times, but it's not to the point where it's taken over my entire life. So that's not a bad thing. I mean, were it the case that I would ever be known well enough, be good enough to be known well enough that everybody is, "Oh, look, it's the Lavender Lady." Okay, I might find myself wanting to hide. I do like my privacy.
It's not easy to know what to say to somebody who recognizes you like that, especially if they start to fan gush.
Well, the couple of times that it happened to me, somebody, I know you from YouTube. Oh, well, thank you. You actually seen me, and I guess you like what you saw. Thank you. And
See, I've never made that assumption. If someone says, "I know you from YouTube," I'm like, is that good or bad?
well, by the look on the person's face, there was a smile and everything else, and it's like,
Oh, you don't want to see certain smiles on my face if we encounter each other, trust me.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
Well, it's sort of in the manner of, aha, my prey comes to me. you know.
Let's put it to you. Let's put it to you this way: the smiles I saw were the smile on Aaron Ra's face when I saw him on the green in Kentucky. It's like I'm thinking, he looks happy to see me. Why?
Well, it's only because he's awesome.
Hell yeah, he is absolutely, and it's. What was really nice about that, and the other people I saw there, and well, you, and let's go on from there, is how easy it is to talk to you folks. I mean, the thing that impressed me most about you, Kate, when we met, how easy it was to talk to you.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is I'm so far removed from the viewers because I'm just sitting here at my desk. The only person around is Columbia, and I make my videos. It's not like there's a red carpet. There's no way to get a big head unless you let yourself get a big head about being a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm. And then, well, with Aaron, we're on Hilton's back porch, and he's on one side of the table, I'm on the other, and we're just talking about shit. And he's asking me things about the transgendered state. And what amazed the fuck out of me were two things. Number one is, we're just talking like two people, there's no gulf in between, the notoriety gulf or anything. It didn't exist. And then the other thing is he's wanting information from me and actually appreciating it. It's like, why? Who am I? I don't have any information. I'm full of shit most of the time. But as Aaron's a big sweetie. Noah is another big sweetie. No Illusions.
I don't know that one. Or if I do, the name's not clicking.
Scathing Atheist.
Wait, say it again?
Scathing Atheist.
That sounds familiar.
Hangs around with, who's the guy who licked Ray Comfort?
I must have missed that one.
I'm trying to remember his name. God damn, I'm missing it. Here's a photograph. Eli Bosnick. That's who did it.
Okay.
And then Eli is on the Scathing Atheist, as well as Noah, as well as Lucinda, who is Noah's wife. And I didn't get to meet Eli, but I got to meet and talk to Noah and Lucinda. Wonderful people, really. I mean, cuties and amazing and stuff and things and sweeties and
Doohickey bobbers?
yes, yes.
Okay.
And it's kind of disappointing in a way. Yes, Amiga Nuts.
Huh?
And Amiga Nuts. Yeah. Phrasing! Licktray, Eli, I don't know how the hell you could have brought yourself to do that. It would have taken a lot of something. Money, drugs, I don't know. But it would have got me to do that.
I missed this story entirely. I don't remember. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember exactly where it happened. It might have been at the most recent thing in Washington. What the heck was that called? I'm losing all this stuff. My mind is going.
Yeah, what Purple said, by the way. So just, you got that accurate.
Hey, there you go, Chris. Oh, man. Yeah, I like... Purple had said, that's Aaron. He was so enthusiastic to take a picture with me, and he had no idea who I was. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a really nice fella.
Yes, he is. Dear, 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 dear person, really and truly. It's just unfortunate that I didn't get to meet his wife. Fuck, and I lost her name too now.
I'm never sure. It was like Little Andra or something.
That's it, Lilandra. There we go. Yeah. But I guess she was otherwise engaged and couldn't come to Kentucky. And it's kind of too bad that I'm not going to have the cash or anything else, to get to Faithless Forum or to get to Kentucky again. There are a couple people I'd like to see again, but
I've decided I'm not going to Faithless Forum this year.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I can hardly blame you, really. I mean, to essentially be told, hey, you're nothing. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's hard not to be bitter sometimes, and I've decided to give into it this time, so. I mean, man, so many times I've actually wanted to make a gigantic stink and realizing that it won't go well for anyone involved, and so I just don't.
Yeah.
But, man, there are just some people right now in the atheist YouTube scene that I want to fucking unload on.
Oh! Hi, Adelinda. Yay! Yay, 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 yay. I don't know if it would reach anyone's attention.
Well,
Were
I mean,
you to
let's put it this way.
comment?
I could make my complaints heard if I really wanted to.
Yeah, but would they care?
Yeah, that's my point. I think I can think of exactly one person who's not in this chat right now that I know would care.
Well, I can think of we were just talking about him.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
The one person that I know who would care that is also not present right now for this conversation is Aaron.
Well, this is what we were talking about. In July, I was talking about the previous thing with you're there
I'm
and
sorry.
why are you.
Hold on. I have a thing I have to deal with. I have to go.
Oh, okay. Go bye bye.
Yeah, I got to talk to my dad about something kind of important. So I'll
Oh,
talk to you.
okay. Then that's a good reason. Okay, so
Okay.
take care, hon,
See you
and
later, Kate.
see you later and
Mhm.
stuff.
Bye.
Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Yeah, Aaron and I were actually talking about that at the last protest in Kentucky, and he's saying, he sees the people on the panel and everything else, and Kate's not there, and it's like she's a cornerstone. Why is she not there?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's I mean, she's on some radars, but so many is just not on. I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know enough about that particular group as I'm not an atheist, so I can't really say.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know whether being an atheist is necessary to, but yeah, there are a lot of the people that you do not know. So yeah,
Right.
right. I mean, I could see how somebody would say, yeah, bring Clarion on a panel. Who the fuck is she? I get
Mm-hmm.
that, but
Right.
you know, he said, and I've said, Kate is a cornerstone. She's been in this movement or community or whatever you want to call it almost from day one. Oh, well, then.
Berg. I am going to have to go. I have got to make some dinner. It is
Okay.
9:14 and I have not eaten dinner yet. So,
Oh, yeah. Well, if it's 9:14 where you are, it's 9:14 where I am.
yep.
Yeah. And
So,
honestly, I haven't had anything either. So now
me too.
I don't have any Twinkies cereal around here, so I can't do
Oh,
that.
God, that just sounds nasty. I have enough problems eating cake with frosting on it, but to eat a cereal that tastes like frosting, that would make my teeth hurt.
Now, there have been times, not all the time, but a little too often back in the past,
Hmm.
where I would spoon the stuff that they called frosting out of those
Hmm.
plastic tubs.
Yes.
The stuff from Duncan Hines and everything else. It's all
Uh-huh.
saturated fat with a little bit of cocoa butter in
Right.
it or something. Yeah, and I have
Yeah.
eaten that. But it's
Yeah. I had a friend uh, that I grew up with who used to make her own homemade frosting. That was good.
yeah.
But it was a lot, it had a lot of powdered sugar in it.
I used to make a killer buttercream frosting, and I haven't done it in decades
Hmm.
because there's really been no call to do it.
Right.
But nothing at all like that stuff you get at Publix or anything like that, in the
Hmm.
plastic tubs. I mean, this stuff actually
Right.
had a decent consistency. It was light and fluffy,
Hmm.
and
Whipped buttercream frosting. What it
mm-hmm,
sounds like.
mm-hmm, yep, yep,
Hmm.
yep, 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 yep. And yeah, you just whip and whip and whip. You get the whole air thing going in there, and yay! Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely purple. Yeah, lard
Yep.
with sugar.
Yep.
The only reason I'm not going to be doing the punch key in a lard is I'll be doing them in a deep fryer, and if I
Hmm.
tried to do it in a lard, I might end up burning out the element before the lard
Yeah.
melted, and yeah, I don't want that. I just paid $50 for the damn thing, and
Okay, you're using a deep fryer, right?
mm-hmm,
Um, have you considered melt? Do you have a microwave?
yeah,
Melt the lard mostly in the microwave and then pour it in.
I've considered that, and
But then the
it,
cleanup is
that's the other
bad.
thing I've considered is because yeah, it excuse me, it hardens, solidifies more or less as
Yeah.
lard does, and now getting it off the almonds,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'd almost have to turn the thing back on. And my understanding is that it's got something built in where it doesn't kill the element, but it's still a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
So, okay, I guess and I don't have, and I wish I did have, a cast iron pot. Like,
I have a cast iron skillet that's not real super deep, but it's nice.
yeah, Bobka
I
had
like me.
a cast iron vessel. I'm trying to remember if it was a skillet or a
Mm,
pot. And then she would melt the lard in there, and she would do
yeah.
the. These donuts were more like, if you've heard of fush nuts.
I think so.
It's also a fried donut, but it looks more
Hmm.
like the torus shaped donuts,
Hmm.
and it's not quite as light as a punch key. A punch key is a light version of a jelly donut.
Mm,
A lot more eggs, a lot more butter, a lot more milk than your basic
hmm.
jelly donut.
Right.
But you know, it looks like one, kind of tastes like one. And that's what I'll be making. Maybe
Do you fill them
tomorrow.
with custard or cream?
Okay, I'm
So
going for the
good.
jelly. I'm going for
Yeah.
the jelly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because to fill them with custard or cream, I'd have to make a whole bunch of it, and I'm only
Hmm.
making a couple dozen punchki, so I'd have
Hmm.
the extra stuff left over. And what am I going to do with the extra but eat it? And I don't need the caloric intake, okay?
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Because you know that stuff's like 4,000 calories, that sort of thing. I mean,
Oh, it's 4,000 calories just looking at it.
a single a single punch check is bad enough,
Hmm.
because those things have got to be like close to 500 calories each.
Hmm.
And that's an interesting thing, though. It's the funny thing about Polish. Um, one of these things is punchek. More than one is punchki, which is a little strange when you consider some of the other plural forms. I mean,
Hmm.
I would more consider it's the plural of punchek to be puncheki,
Hmm.
that sort of thing. But no, it's punchki.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. A cast iron. My granny, I should say, had a cast iron casserole dish. Talk about heavy. Oh my
yeah, that damn
gosh.
thing's got away. What, 40 pounds?
Just about.
Mm-hmm.
You would think so.
And they are
Um,
high maintenance. I will give you that. I mean,
no, no, not if you know how to do it right.
well, you need to know how to season them, and you do need to know
Right.
how to
Well,
maintain them.
the biggest thing that most people fail to know about cast iron is you are not supposed to use dish soap on it.
Oh, right, right. That'll ruin the damn things.
And in order to re-season it after something like that is done, you need baking soda, coarse salt, preferably sea salt, and something like leather or something that's not going to get torn by scouring. And then you just rub the sea salt and baking soda mixture around and around and around and around until it gets gray, dump it, and then do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember what temperature you put the oven at. Oh god, it's been a long time. I'll have to look that back up. But you put just enough oil in the bottom. You just rub some oil on it, preferably something like olive oil or what's another one? Saffron oil, I think it is. I don't remember which is the best oil, but
That's
it's an expensive
yeah.
oil that you spread around in the bottom of it, and then you put it on a uh, on like a cookie sheet at like I think it's 200 for half an hour, 45 minutes, and let it season that way. And then you just keep doing that. Um, yeah, you're not supposed to use dish soap. on cast iron because it strips the oils out of it. And
Yeah.
those oils are what keeps it from sticking.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Beach, are you speaking of kolachki? My babka would make kolachki all the time. And, oh, God, those are so good. Well, Saturday was baking day at her house. Used to make the kolachki, used to make the nut roll and the poppy seed roll and the peach cobbler stuff. And,
Yeah. Amiga, what you do to clean it normally is you take water and you put the pan on the stove and you heat the water up so that it will loosen anything that's stuck to it, and then you wipe it out with a cloth or a non-scouring non-scratch scrubber, and then you put it back on the stove to dry. Turn it on like low heat until it's all the water dries out.
oh, my. Oh, my. Okay, that's the thing about the punch key. If I wanted, I could get half a dozen punch key at the local Squall Mart, but let me tell you, those are not at all the good stuff.
Mm. All right, I'm gonna go. You're making me
You,
hungry. I will see you
yeah.
later.
Is that a
Bye,
threat?
guys.
Is that a threat?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. If
Take.
nothing else, I will see you on Friday if you're on movie night.
Yeah, I have to do something about that. I'll tell you, it's kind of it's horrible in the sense that it's a whole sleep deprivation thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Well, you don't have anything else going on Saturdays, do you?
Just getting ready for Sundays. That's really all there is. Yeah.
You're welcome, Amiga Nuts. You can. Let me look up this guy. Let me hold on.
Oh, okay.
Give
I
me a
get you,
second.
Peach.
How to restore.
Well, you have to know how to do it if you're going to do the homemade, because if you screw them up, toothpaste would taste better, but that's beside the point. Uh, but yeah, as I get the wheels turning and everything else, you're going to see more of the recipes I grew up with on the Transgender Chef. So that'll be a whole bunch of fun. I've been threatening to do a chicken paprikash for so long. I've got to do that. Yeah, it'll kill you, but you die happy. Oh, Bosje. Oh, Bosje moi.
Oh, okay. See. Who was it? Where is it?
What, Colleen? You mean the software that we use? If by that you mean the oh, okay, yeah, they're using Zoom, and there's a whole thing, a whole software thing that they use to reroute the audio from the movie that's playing, so it goes to both the audience and to the panel. The stuff they use requires wind blows. I've tried to do it here on Linux, but I haven't had success yet. And yeah, Canadian whiskey and very generous triple shots. I don't know if you know Jared from AT2 Productions. It'd be somebody good to ask how that stuff works. I could not get it to work on here because I can't even get the audio to work right. Just, the one side on the wind blows. Yeah, because it's very likely going to have a name other than, I mean, if I've seen it before, it's going to have a name other than the one I know. Because I learned how to cook from my babka, who was Slovak. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I may have found it for you. And I know exactly what you're talking about. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Let me stick this over there.
Okay, the first link I put up was how to clean a cast iron skillet, and this one, I don't know if it'll go through, is how to reseason.
Okay, then. I don't know exactly what happened to Look a Pig. I know that he's in contact with Furball, but I haven't seen him in, oh Christ, most of a year. Well, I shouldn't say that. I haven't seen him since. No, it's close to a year. I mean, the last time I saw him was in Kentucky last July, and then I think he was on one of the memorials for Jeff, but didn't get a chance to say much to him. Yeah, see, Beach, if that's the one you were talking about, also known as Angel Wings. Okay, something happened. Okay, then. I see that Mom Nato disappeared into the west. So, yeah, take care, hon, and be good, and stuff and things, and stuff like that. What I'll do is I'll just take it to camera one now. So maybe I've got this thing working. We're going to find out the next time we do it on Sunday and see if we can get that to go and everything there. And yeah, there's this week. I'm not exactly sure which day I'm going to do it, but this week I will be making the punch key and I will be filming it as I go. And then I'll put that up on the Transgendered Chef. Hopefully in time for making them for anybody who wants to do it. It's they are a pre-Lenten food. You have Truski Czwartek for the Polish-speaking people, much like you have Mardi Gras for the French-speaking people. Yeah, Truski Czwartek is Fat Thursday. It's the Thursday before Lent, whereas Mardi Gras is the Tuesday before, the day before. And the Poles have basically the same sort of thing going on, but it doesn't get quite as crazy as it does in New Orleans. So we'll give that a shot and we'll see how it goes. And man, this is my first time making them, so it'll be interesting to see how it works. And then I have a whole bunch of other things. As I say, I'll try making a chicken paprikash, which is, yeah, I sure can. see what we've got here. We're going to go to the YouTubelets. You know the YouTubelets? Oh, okay, so you have that over there. Okay, there we are. Look at that, look at that, look at that. And all I need are 53 more subscribers, and I can get a custom URL. It's going to be a while before that happens, but, no big deal there. It's just me bloviating and stuff and things. And there we are. And here it comes, kids. That is my good old cooking channel. And the other thing I want to do when I finally get things going in an assembly line is a website that has my my cookbook, if you will. There was somebody who asked me, could I do it mobile friendly? And there's a lot I have to learn to do that, but I'm wanting to do that. But I have a start on a website for the transgendered chef, and what I'll do, hang on here. There we are. Yeah, it's still a little rough. It's still a little raw. But here's the attempt at the website. And that's where I have some of the recipes written down. That's where I intend to put them all. That way you can refer to them if you want to actually try to make the stuff yourself. And we can go from there and things like that. And I'm always looking for the new recipes, definitely. I've been looking around for soups, stews, and things like that, and because it's still a little on the cool side. It's cold out there, and it's cold in here sometimes. That's the amazing thing I've discovered. I talked about it before, but how much colder 70 degrees feels inside this apartment than 70 degrees feels outside. Maybe that's because I'm getting old, or maybe something else. I don't know. Well, no, I'm not getting old. I'm old. Okay, I know that. And we'll be doing some of that, and I'll try to see if I can do just little tidbits of information as well as food and stuff like that. I did one about coming home from grocery shopping, and it's kind of fun, just here's how I eat cheap. 90% of it is rice. Oh, boy, moi. So, okay, yeah, we've been at this for about 2.5 hours. So maybe it's time to put the gear down and come in for a landing, that sort of thing. I want to thank everyone who is here, and I want to thank everyone who is not here. I say this every time, and I don't know, maybe it sounds I don't know, maybe it sounds overly sweet and whatever else, but no, I love doing this stuff. I love the fact that you seem to like it, and I'm doing this for you. I mean, really and truly. I don't think I'd be doing this were you not there to see it. So as long as you keep liking it, I'll see if I can keep doing it, and just take it from there. And I do thank you for all the support. I mean, the moral support, the appreciation, the patronage. Really, I mean, okay, I'm not Howard Hughes or anything as a result, but it helps to pay the bill a little bit to keep this stuff going on the air, and that's a good thing. So I thank every one of you for that, and we're just going to keep it coming, and hopefully you're going to keep liking it. And if you don't, let me know and tell me what you'd like to see. Tell me, if there's something you don't like, tell me how I can fix it, and I'll see what we can do. And yes, all the kitty boops. There. So, okay, with the whole thing there, we'll just bring it down, and I'm going to say to every one of you, thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.